The Jada McPherson incident that happened in Queens, New York has Black America talking for a lot of reasons. Number one, it does appear to be an element of a racial undertone going on here. It's a racist attack. You have 3 individuals, or at least 2 of them, from Romania. We thought they were Hispanic, but it's not true. They were from Romania, and these Europeans are beating on this Black woman while at the same time they refuse to give up this particular parking spot that one of the family members is holding for the mother. The second part about this is that while the attack was happening, nobody was willing to help except one person. And this is the point that the protesters brought up.
A 21-year-old woman was beat right here in this very spot. And I tell you, if it was a white woman, you wouldn't have let it happen like that. If it was a white woman,
nobody did nothing.
If it was a Jewish woman,
everything y'all did,
everybody in New York would be outside right now. Well, because it's a Black woman, y'all think it's gonna slide, but we're not letting nothing slide.
Now, the brother is right. If this was a white woman or a Jewish woman attacked by these same individuals, it's gonna get more airplay. But this is a Black woman, so nobody cares a lot about it. And he definitely is right. But there's a certain advantage that we're not talking about in this conversation that we all overlooked. And there's definitely privilege going on right now, but it's not Black or female privilege. And the hint was dropped by Jada McPherson herself. You see, when Jada McPherson was interviewed, she was asked about what actually happened during the incident.
Basically, when I pulled up and then he seen me trying to park, he basically came, put the trash can behind me and sat there.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't run him over. I can't, so I came out and I tried to talk to him. I'm like, you can't sit there and hold a spot with a trash can.
Yeah, because it's not your
property. So basically, I just went around the block a couple times, came back, and then he just was enraged because I probably came back. That was a chance for him. Yes, that wasn't a woman. Everybody, and then the news posted
that was the mother and daughter, but that wasn't a daughter.
Mad. I was like, that is not.
I guess they were respecting the pronouns.
Yeah, but it's like he's biologically a man.
But wait, I want you to get the most important part that she says.
And then the news posted
that was the mother and daughter, but that wasn't a daughter.
Mad. I was like, that is not.
I guess they were respecting the pronouns.
Yeah, but it's like he's biologically a man.
So if you notice, Jada McPherson is talking about the individual that attacked her, and that individual is Sabrina Starman. Now, Sabrina Starman identifies as a transgender woman, but Jada McPherson doesn't see Sabrina Starr that way. She sees Sabrina Starr as a man. And of course, most people may or may not see that, but I noticed that before this incident came out, everybody was saying, yo, that is a man that is hitting Jada McPherson, or the lady. Before we even knew who Jada was, that's a man. And that's the most interesting part of all of this. You see, at the same time, while the news media is making this a racist situation, what they're not talking about is this a transgender situation, okay? And the transgender person is attacking a Black woman, and the individual was born a man, but nobody wants to mention that this individual that's actually hitting Jada McPherson was born genetically a male and is stronger and is bigger, okay? And Jada was upset that several news outlets called Sabrina Starman a woman. If you don't believe me, let's look at them. This was ABC7. The news clip article says, exclusive, woman describes violent brawl with neighbors over a parking spot in Queens. And it circles here in the red, I circled this. 2 women were arrested over the fight and police are still searching for a third person. The New York Post, which gave an interview, says, mom-daughter apologized for a wild NYC parking spot brawl after hundreds of death threats, but victim isn't buying it. Again, this is the New York Post identifying Sabrina Starman not as a man, but as a transgender woman, and even as a woman altogether, because it's saying mother and daughter apologized. Now, what did the websites that focus on Black issues say? Remember, they're all about supporting the Black community. What stance did they take? Well, The Root said, young black woman finds herself in a racial brawl in NYC over a what? Now, again, they're going to call out the racism on this, but the undertone that is ignored is a mother and daughter will be taken to court for assault for third degree and harassment of the second degree. Clearly, The Root doesn't want to talk about the fact that the person that was attacking Jada McPherson was indeed born a man. But again, they would like to be politically correct. And also understand, The Root says they love the black community. Black Enterprise, which is a great magazine for the black community, well, let's see what position would they take. The headline says a black woman was viciously attacked over a parking space and neighbors stood around watching. But they can call out the neighbors stood around watching. What did they say? A mother-daughter duo is facing assault charges. So again, Black Enterprise doesn't want to talk about the fact that Sabrina Starman was born a man, okay? That's not important for them because this is a mother-daughter duo, and that's what they're saying. Then I came across some information on TikTok, and I saw a video where a transgender individual or transgender woman had a video talking about, is this a transgender conversation? And they wanted to rebut the fact that Jada McPherson thought that Sabrina Starman was actually a man.
Sabrina doesn't give man in any way, shape, or form. She claims that Jada clocked her voice and assumed that she was trans. But even her voice, even though it might be a little deeper than what people are used to, we all know some woman somewhere, cishet woman, that has a low or raspy tone of voice.
So she's saying, listen, Sabrina Starman doesn't give off male energy. Huh? She doesn't sound like a man. She doesn't, just because the voice is raspy, how could you identify that individual as a man? Well, I want to rebuttal it like this. Number one, the main conversation is, why was a man or a woman or anybody in a parking spot that you don't own? If that individual was not doing that, we wouldn't talk about transgender or heterosexual or homosexual. It wouldn't matter. Now, while this individual believes that Sabrina Starman doesn't give off male energy, you were not the one receiving those punches, okay? And so according to Jada McPherson, that was a man. That should not have been hitting her. Again, these are all opinions and everybody has one. But to the person being attacked, they felt like they were in a fight with a adult man and not necessarily a woman that was like her. That is her own experience. I understand what you're saying, but that is what is going on. But then this TikToker brings up some strong points.
I don't think that the trans conversation fits into this case, into this scenario. I think that Sabrina is trying to save face, and Sabrina threw that out there to try to release some of the heat of the fact that you and your racist mama jumped this black girl because she was black, trying to prevent her from parking in a space that you don't fucking own.
Now, the TikToker is saying here, look, Sabrina needs to stop using the trans movement to basically save face. Like, you attacked this person over a parking spot that you don't own. So transgenders don't have anything to do with this at all. However, the fact that you're trying to put us as transgenders into the mix, you're making us look bad, and you made a bad decision. That's all on you. Stop putting the community at risk. The next part was even more interesting.
And when you have like Sabrina bringing up the fact that she's trans in a situation where she was obviously in the wrong, it makes people not in the community, and it makes people observing the community question the validity of the rights that that community deserves.
The TikToker says here that it makes people who are not in the community or looking outside of the community question the validity of what the transgender movement deserves. And if you can look at what the validity is, we see it. Because now Sabrina Starman is considered a woman and is getting off with this as a woman, and it's not being prosecuted as a man. It would have been different if it was a black man, okay, that hit Jada McPherson over a parking spot. If it was me, that hit Jada McPherson over a parking spot. Dare I say a gay man who didn't identify as a transgender woman over a parking spot. But because we have somebody who is transgender identifying, so now it's a woman on woman thing. And this is the scary part for black women. Not only are migrants in the same case replacing people in the black community, now what you're gonna have is for black women, many of them feel that they're going to be replaced in the gender. So now what happens is that if you get into it with a US citizen that's a transgender, or a person that is from, a migrant, and you're in New York City and you're in a sanctuary city, well, now it's just two women getting into it, okay? And now you have a 6'3" woman or a 6'2" woman. And then what's gonna happen is the news media is gonna back them up, all right? So now the only thing we can do is talk about this is racist, but we can't call out really what's happening here. And that is a person that's born a male is beating on a female. And if you call that out, then all of a sudden you're not politically correct and you hate the LGBTQ community. And this is the issue that black women are going to be facing in the long run. You see, now the rights of women in America, according to many that I've looked at on TikTok, they feel like those rights are becoming less and less. You see, 10, 20 years ago, if this happens, then hey, Jada McPherson is going to get a lot more justice. But in today's world, it doesn't work like that. And women got to understand that this is where the world is going to go. That a person can say, I'm a transgender woman, and then turn around and then fight you over the fact that, hey, you did something wrong. And then, you know what? I'm a woman, and you're a woman. And then the news will get back up there and support them. Even black sites are going to support them. Oh, those are just two women fighting. Where the black community, many of us are looking at this and like, well, that's not what it looked like when they were fighting. It looked like it was definitely a person that was masculine that was fighting a woman that was a woman. That's what it looked like to many of us who were looking at it regardless. Now, can you say if it was Clarissa Shields and she's fighting somebody? Yes, yeah, okay, but that's actually a woman, right? But we're talking about just an untrained person versus Jada McPherson that was attacked. And keep in mind, she was attacked by Sabrina Starman first, okay? Sabrina Starman attacked her first. And if black women are not careful, in 20 years, this is gonna get worse, all right? And this by any means is not any hatred on the LGBTQ community, but those rights are already there. They already have those rights, all right? And it happened before our eyes without us even really realizing it. And what I would like to do is to say, hey, listen, I want to give a shout out to George Macon from Street Media TV. He gave me the idea for this video and the thought process in which I was able to break it down. It was not on my own volition, but I did add to it once he gave me a really, really good idea. So I want to give credit to where credit is due. Go check him out on his channel and subscribe. Peace.